Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video where we talk about some stuff that I would like to be shown at this year's San Diego Comic-Con 2019. So I'm going to do like a series of videos here. I'm doing 4 videos, and in each video I'm going to talk about a new or a different toy line and what I'd like to see from them at this year's Comic-Con. This one's going to be, of course, the Marvel Studios Marvel Legends series. Now, originally I was just going to do like full Marvel Legends. However, in this video it's very much going to be movie focused. So this will be what I'm hoping for the movie line. I might do another one of these, but do it comic based. If you guys want me to, just let me know. But in this video, it's going to be totally movie themed as far as the MCU for Marvel Legends. But I also have another video for the Transformers Studio series. I've got a Sideshow Collectibles and a Hot Toys one coming as well. So I'm going to be doing a whole series here. And yeah, I'm very excited for San Diego Comic-Con 2019 and what's going to be shown there. And really hoping that some of my choices are shown there as well. And I'm not necessarily doing just a full, like, you know, if I could choose anything, what would it be? What would be shown? I'm doing more of what I would like to see shown, and what I think is, you know, somewhat realistic to be shown too. Because I do like countdown dream videos sometimes, where I just talk about what I would love to see. And that's not necessarily what this is. It's certainly what I would like to see, but it's also what realistically I think could be shown too. So let's get started here. So starting off with number 3, as far as my Marvel Studios, you know, the MCU Marvel Legends series shown at Comic-Con, would be a 2-pack between Ebony and Cull Obsidian from Avengers Infinity War. So I think this would be a really great 2-pack to be seen. I think it's pretty reasonable for them to do. Obviously, Cull Obsidian is a very large figure. He's a Build-A-Figure, which they have included in 2-packs before, so that's not something that's unprecedented. But the original Build-A-Figure, although it's a really nice figure, it's very inaccurate because it's based on it's based on concept art that was never actually used for the film. So although the head and the arms are accurate, the body and the legs are completely inaccurate. They're not showing any of his armor that he's wearing. So I'd like to see them just kind of redo that figure, use the same arms and legs, but just redesign a body and use the same arms and head and just redesign a new body and legs, and then give us a film accurate accessory, because the hammer that he came with, albeit it looks neat, it's not quite what he has in the film. So that would be quite cool. Also, what they could do is an interchangeable arm, because he obviously loses the arm, gets a mechanical attachment later in the film. That would be really nice if he were to include that as well. And then they could just repack Ebony Maw, because he would be a perfect person to go with him. And the only thing that they have to do with Ebony Maw is give him like some sort of new accessory. So either like a hand where he's got his finger out so that you can put it in front of his face, so he can be like shh, you know, like in the trailer, or just some sort of like a kind of clear energy piece to put around his hands to make it look like he's using his telekinetic abilities. So it would be very easy to do this pack, and I think it would be very reasonable for them to do it as well, considering it would only require a resculpting half of a figure and then just repacking the other half of a figure as well as another figure and a couple new accessories. That's pretty reasonable for Marvel Legends, and it's something that they do often, so I think that this is definitely a reasonable idea for them to do and would make for a great 2-pack. I'd be very happy, because although I love the Cull Obsidian figure, because it's so inaccurate, he doesn't look great with the others. Like, he looks good, but he doesn't look great because it's so inaccurate. It's kind of an eyesore. So it would be awesome if they could fix that. Another pack that I'd like to see from an Avengers film, this time Endgame, it would have to be a 3-pack between the Hulk, the Iron Patriot / War Machine, and Rocket Raccoon. Ignore Giant Man in the back. It's just, this picture was so perfect because it was the 3 that I wanted in the 3-pack. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect picture for that. But yeah, so this would be a great pack, and it would be a pretty reasonable one again. Just like the other pack, I think it's pretty reasonable for Hasbro to do, because all they'd really need to give us is they have to resculpt the Hulk figure for the most part. Hulk is going to be the Build-A-Figure in the newest Endgame wave, and that figure just looks really disappointing, to be honest. It doesn't look like a good figure. It's very much the way that he looked when he went back in time, which I don't think anybody wanted. I think everybody really wanted the Hulk from the end of the film with his new costume. So they'd have to resculpt the Hulk figure, except for the head sculpt. They could reuse the head sculpts. That would be fine. So it would require a totally new Hulk figure, though, for the most part. It would require a new Rocket Raccoon figure, which is a very small figure, and then the a War Machine / Iron Patriot figure would just have to be the War Machine that's coming out in that Hulk wave, just with the proper color scheme for how he looked in Endgame, which is the Iron Patriot red, blue, and silver color scheme. So that would be an extremely easy figure for them to do, just a simple repaint, and it would make a world of difference too. It would look great. And then the Rocket Raccoon figure is very small as well, and Hulk is of course a little bit of a bigger one. So even though you're getting Hulk and War Machine, which are a bit of a bigger figures, you get the small Rocket Raccoon, which would make it fine, I think, for Hasbro to warrant a 3-pack, even though you get 2 bulky figures with it, because you get one very small one as well. These, I think, are really necessary because it's improving 2 figures and then it's giving us a new figure. So I think that would be really nice. And what's so nice about this type of set is, although a lot of people that buy it probably will already have the Hulk and War Machine, it'll still feel completely different to them, because I'm not a big fan when they release a new, like a set of 3 figures and one of them is like almost identical to the last figure that they did. And then you just kind of end up with 2 of them. With this one, all 3 of them, even if they're sculpts that you've had before, would be a completely new take on the sculpt, basically, and would make it more movie accurate, and therefore I think really nice. So I definitely like to see this 3-pack happen, and again, I think it's a pretty reasonable 3-pack to do. I think that it doesn't require any major expense on Hasbro's part, so I think that it's a pretty solid one for them to do, and definitely very reasonable. So then next up is my number 1 set that I would like to see. Essentially, it's another 3-pack, and it's also from Endgame, and this one I pretty much think will definitely happen. I'd be surprised if this doesn't happen. It's such a no-brainer in my head, but it's the Avengers Trinity. You know, it's your classic Trinity: Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America in their Endgame suits. Because surprisingly, we haven't got Endgame suits for 2 out of the 3 of these. We are going to get Captain America in a single carded package as a Walmart exclusive figure, and it will come with Mjolnir and I believe an interchangeable head sculpt too. So I think that would be very cool. What it doesn't have though is a broken shield, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that giving us this figure with Mjolnir, of course, but with a broken shield instead of a full shield would be great, and it's a nice like little accessory to add to him to make him a bit different, but also still allow them to kind of just repack him. And that figure is actually proven to be extremely hard to get, so it would allow people who are having difficulties finding that one to just get the 3-pack and be happy with the 3-pack. Then a Thor figure with obviously the chunkier Thor. I think that would be really cool. I'm a big fan of Thor's look in Endgame. I know that his look and his character was very divisive over fans. For me personally, though, I'm all for it. I actually really love it. So I'd really be excited for a Marvel Legends figure of him. It would, of course, be a completely new sculpt. There's no way around it, but it would be really ridiculous if they didn't do Thor for this new movie, considering so few companies are making a new Thor figure. Really, it's like Iron Studios is the only one that's doing him, which is disappointing, I must say. But he would be a really cool figure, and one thing that I would really like to see with it is having a cloth cape. Every single Thor figure that's come out from Marvel Legends before for the movie series has had a rubber cape, so I think it would be really cool to give us a cloth one to make it just different. Rubber would be fine too, but it would just be cool to get cloth to really separate it from some of the others, make it feel a little bit more fresh. And then next we have Iron Man's Mark 85 armor. I think that this is... I'm surprised that we haven't gotten this one yet, surprisingly. It's you know, they tend to always do the Iron Man armors, so it's weird to not give us his last armor. I would imagine it's coming, though. I'd be shocked if they don't make the Trinity. Even if they don't do it in a 3-pack like this, I'd be shocked if we don't get all 3. But Iron Man, I think, would be a must-have, and it would be really cool if he came with an interchangeable right arm, right hand that has the stone in it with, you know, some of the pulsating energy going down. I think that would be really cool, and with like a new Tony Stark head sculpt, that would be great too. That would be great too. Obviously with his more older look, because this happens in the future, of course. But yeah, overall, this would be a must-have 3-pack. I think this would be one of the hottest Marvel Legends sets of the year. To be honest, I don't see anybody who wouldn't be all for this. It's so perfect considering this is the last time we'll ever get the Trinity together, and they have such unique looks in this movie that I think that it would lend itself great to a a set like this, and it would just be a must-have, I think, for everybody. But yeah, there you go. That's my choice for my number one Marvel Legends movie figure that I'd love to see, being the a 3-pack of the Trinity from Endgame. Number 2 would be a 3-pack of Hulk, War Machine / Iron Patriot, and Rocket Raccoon from Endgame as well. And then a 2-pack from Avengers Infinity War featuring Cull, Obsidian in a more accurate costume, as well as Ebony Maw. So there you go. That's my thoughts of what I would like to see most from San Diego Comic-Con as far as movie, MCU, Marvel Legends figures go. Those would be fantastic to be shown. I am hoping that we'll get some more movie Marvel Legends shown. We did just get one new one with the Collector being an exclusive to this event, which is neat. But I hope that we get some others as well. Considering all the ones that were shown at New York Toy Fair haven't been released yet, I'm kind of surprised that they're not out yet. Actually, I thought that they'd be out early summer, but unfortunately we're having to wait quite a while for them. They'll probably be out more towards the fall. But yeah, hoping that we see these. And again, if you want me to do a comic version of this, just feel free, just comment below, and I'll get to it if I can. So yeah, overall, thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think of my choices, and I'd love to hear your choices as well.